Watch Nighttiger Comics!
Nighttiger Comics.
Nighttiger Comics!
Nighttiger Comics! Nighttiger Comics!
Yeah!
I need more comic books in my life like I need another hole in the head. But here we are, another comic book haul on Nighttiger Comics. I'm glad that you tuned in. I'm Mike Smith. Welcome to the lair. So this week has been a yin and a yang. As you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, my 8th grandchild was born, Sadie Smith, and I couldn't be more prouder. But also one of the best LCS owners of mine has passed away this week from the virus. A lot younger than me. It was total shock. And so I want to start this out with a tribute to him. And his store is Captain Kirk's Geek Shop, a really small kind of hole in the wall, but a wonderful, warm guy I call friend. I'd go in there and I just wouldn't go to buy comics. I'd go in there and sit for hours and we'd have discussions about life and this and that. And our perspectives were different, but we always left loving each other just as much as when I came in. So such a great guy. And I could go on and on. It's been a shock. So I just want to show a few things because over the years, I've got some great deals from this guy, and he's one of those LCS owners who does look up books as you purchase or as you check out, but he never tries to squeeze every penny out of the book. He'll cut you a great deal. I think 90% of the time, I never turned down what he was offering. Of course, you know, nothing's perfect, and there were times when I thought things were a little overpriced, but most of the time, it was great deals. And I always knew that, hey, I don't have to worry about hunting and then checking out because I know I'm probably going to buy everything that I picked out. And a lot of times I would find books that were priced way lower than the market and they were big keys. And he would still give me a great deal on them. So enough talking about that. Just a wonderful guy, and I'm going to miss him. So and a lot of stuff I got from his shop was always high grade stuff. Here's one book that I got, Iron Man number 12 from 1969, first controller, but a really nice high-grade copy. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I don't think it was more than $20. Another book. I got several early Conans from him, and all in high grade, so the best ones in my collection. And this is 17 from 72, Frank Bruner, and Gil Kane cover. This is one I picked up this year, second print, first Batman Who Laughs, November 2017. Is this the second print? This may be the first print, so I did get the second print from him. I think this is the first print. I think the second print has a yellow background. So my mistake, but I did get the second print from him for like $12. This was a really good one that he sold me. So this is Marvel Tales Annual number 1. This is the second reprint comic Marvel ever did. So the first was I forget. Let me see. Is this the first or the second? This is the second. The first one was in '63. I forget what title it was. It might have been Marvel Superheroes or something. And this was a really cool book I got from him, and it's not high grade, but it's definitely very good copy. I mean, it's no loose pages, no loose staples, no tears or nothing like that. It's Yellow Claw. This is a number 4 in a 4-issue series. He's a descendant of Genghis Khan and just kind of like a Fu Manchu character. This is from 1959. And he sold me that for, I think I bought 4 Golden Age books, all in a lot. And that was several years ago. This is the last big book I got for him. A high grade, like a 7580 copy of Fantastic 455, which is a classic Kirby cover. And this was the second. See, he closes at 2, so I don't get to go over there as much as I want to, because by the time 2 o'clock rolls around and he lives in the middle of town, I'm ready to go home because I drive truck, so I'm not home that much. So I rarely get to a shop, but this is the last one he sold me. He looked it up. He said this book's going for $80. This is like a 9/4 copy. And he said, I'll give it to you for $50. And I was like, I'll take it. Classic Hulk and Thor from November 73. So we're going to miss you, Kirk, my friend. I know God's up there with open arms receiving you. So I did pick up some new comics. I really don't like to. I feel like it's playing the lottery and I lose most of the time. So this was a few weeks ago. You guys probably picked this up. Batman 89. Just because it's tied to Michael Keaton's Batman, that's the only thing I like about it. The story was very standard. It doesn't feel like they even tried to really write a story. And my son said the second issue is better. I haven't been able to find one yet. But what's the deal with the art in here? Right here. Look at the forehead. It's like he doesn't even need half of that forehead. I don't know who this artist is, but my goodness, that is terrible. And then look at the next picture of Bruce Wayne. His I don't know, his forehead. It doesn't look quite as big, but I don't get it. So I just picked this up for nostalgic purposes. I don't like it. My son said Robin comes in on the second issue, so I might try to find that. But I don't think I'm going to stick around on this. Now, this next one, I Am Batman #1, is Jace Fox's Batman, which I don't think you are the Batman. But I've always said, if the writing is good, I'll enjoy it. And the writing in here and the art, this book blew me away. Because whoever wrote this, they have an understanding of who Batman is. And they wrote this book street level. I mean street, brutal level. The art, the artist, the motorcycle scenes in here riding through the city with Batman turning and close to the road and then attacking off the motorcycle. Everything. I cannot recommend this enough. It blew me away. I'm putting this on my pull list. And if this book stays as high caliber as this issue, this is probably going to be a hot series. Now, I like the new look of the mask. Like I say, the writing, they took Batman to the streets, and that's where Batman's supposed to be. And it's funny because there's a ad in here that says Batman goes international for another series. Batman's not supposed to go international. He's a street level, brutal superhero, works in the shadows. So the writer took the essence of what Batman's supposed to be, and he actually put a little bit of a different twist on it, really twisting it back to the 1940s and what Batman first debuted as. So I can't recommend this enough. It was really good. The art was just as good as the story. So to recap, if no one's watched the live show, so we're getting into the haul now. This was stuff that I showed on the live show, but recent pickups. Got this off eBay. High grade copy for $68 with shipping and tax. But this thing is immaculate. I mean, it shines and it's good curl cover. It's a Fawcett one shot. And I'm really happy with this purchase. And let me get a drink here, but it's late at night. But I wanted to get this out. I got to work on Sunday. So found $3. This is from the antique store down the road. And that's how I kind of found out about my LCS owner, because Paris, who's at the beginning of the opening with the red hair, she's like, "You're alive," when I walked in. And so I was like, okay, I don't know her really that well. We haven't talked a lot. So it was kind of like someone who knew me. So it's kind of taken aback. But then she's like, "Yeah, I heard somebody died and I thought it was you. And I'm so glad you're not dead." And I'm like, wow. I didn't even know she really even knew I existed. But and so she sat and she showed me pictures. She's a single mom. She has a son about 11 or 12. She showed me his trip to the con and what a great time he had with the company there that does the costumes for Star Wars. So, oh yeah, so moving on. So pick this one up. I read this. This is The Origin of Red Wolf. It was just really good too. Just your standard Bronze Age kind of, a little above average, but because it was the Bronze Age and it was a new character, and I have never read Wolf. I have couple issues, but I have never read one yet. So it was really good. I liked it. And this is Gardner Fox on the script, and then Sid Shore's on the art. So if you read your early Green Lanterns, you know kind of Gardner Fox kind of writing he does. I was happy to find this. I had this regular issue on my list on eBay for about a year. I never pulled the trigger on it. But here's the DC logo universe. This was $3. It goes for between $30 and $40. And this is like a 9.8 copy. I mean, this is high grade. And it's Adam Hughes, of course, Andromeda on the cover, and this is from 1994. I'm always looking for these now, so they came out around 1994 to 96. So if you get familiar with the titles of DC and the logo of that time period, you don't have to keep pulling these out every time you're going through a back issue bin to look at the bottom. So I went looking for them today, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I went back. They had a Golden Age book, a Gunfighter or Gunfighters by EC. Super low grade copy. It's not one of the Good Girl covers. They have 40 on it. I took it up to the front. I asked the gentleman who owns the store. I said, "I don't know who owns this, but could you call them and ask them if they'll take 25? He's like, "Well, that's my booth. I'll do 10%, so I'll give it to you for 36. I'm like, "Nah," I walked right by, so I put it back. Because it was just so beat. It was really low grade. I'm talking low grade. And I don't get it. That book's been sitting there for at least 2 years because I've been going there for a while and keep checking to see if they put new stuff in there. But oh well. And then so I went back. I wanted this book. And this is a beautiful cover. It's John Severin cover. Purple background. Snowy. Nazis. Detail everywhere. So I was looking at this. It has a little blurb here about John Severin, and it says, "Don't miss this exciting Fury's newest artist, the fabulous Johnny Severin, brings his own band of battle magic to the world's greatest war mag." So I'm like, I wonder if this could be John Severin's first work for Marvel. So I did some research, and it is. This is Sgt Fury and his Halloween Commandos number 44, July 1967. So the last time that John did any work working with Stan was back at Atlas Comics. Now in Atlas Comics, they had the bullpen. They had their freelance artists that would come in and drop off work. And then they had the bullpen. These were the in-house artists who worked all in a room together. So you had your famous artists at Atlas. You had Bill Everett, Carl Burgos, Joe Manelli, and then John Severin. And then, of course, if you know about the story leading up to Marvel, Atlas was going under. They were going to file bankruptcy or they were going to go out of business. So Stan had to fire everybody. And so in 1959 is when he let John go, and that was his last association with Stan until he came back on this issue in 1967. So what about 8 years later? So really cool. I mean, it's a mid-grade, and it was $6. I wanted to read it not because of that, but it's also the Howlers' first mission together. So this is going to be a really good read. All right, moving on. So the next 3 books are a trade with my buddy Steve Caldwell at I Love Disney and Comics. Now go to his Instagram. Please do this. Go to his Instagram and tell him Nighttiger and I insist that you keep putting out comic book hauls, because he says I'm done with YouTube, and I'm not going to be doing any more hauls. And I love his hauls. I think he finds great stuff. So we did a trade. I don't even remember what I traded him. I sent it a couple weeks ago. He finally sent the books that he traded me. So we're going to get in and we're going to see what those are. So he asked me what some of the books that I needed for runs. So I told him I didn't have some defenders issues. He had doubles on number 40. So he sent me that. I'm trying to finish my Tomb of Dracula, and I didn't have number 22, so he sent me that, and he had doubles on that. So the book I traded him for was this next book. It is the second appearance of Blade. Tomb of Dracula, number 12, September 73. And he has 3 copies of this. I traded him for his mid-grade copy. And I put stuff on the back, like right here. I put trade A-OK with Steve Caldwell. I put the date. So that, when I get old and I'm in diapers and I can't remember nothing, I can look at the back and read it and go, oh, yeah. Okay, so on to the haul. So I'm going to show a video here as I'm talking. I went to, my LCS, the big one in town. They opened a second location in the town, one town over, which is about 30 miles away. And so I thought I'd go and support the shop. Popped in there. It's all set up nice and neat. It's pretty huge. They got gaming rooms. And you as you can see, they got a lot of back issue bins, wall books. And as I'm going through the back issue bins, the manager goes, just let you know, today everything in the back issue bin is 50% off. I was like, sweet. All right, so I went in with a budget of $50. I ended up spending $46. And what else do I want to say? There was something else. Now I can't remember what it is. I hate when that happens. It'll come to me. So we're going to get into this. So everything was half off. I'll tell you what I paid for it instead of what it was. So first I went through the DC back issue bins. I'm always looking for the DC Logo Universe issues, among other things. And then I always know it's like in DC you'll find older stuff, 70s, more of it than you will in the Marvel for some reason. I don't know why. I guess Marvel's more popular. So I didn't have this. I've always wanted to get a copy, a decent copy. So Atari Force number 1. This is the ongoing. There was a miniseries before this. I don't know if it was a miniseries or if they came out with the games. You guys can tell me. So that was 50 cents, January 84. And just a cool, who does that cover? I don't even know. I can't read that name. But it's just iconic. This is one you always see in the house ads for years. I did when I started buying comics off the newsstand. This was 50 cents. Adventure Comics $3.99. Really low grade copy, but kind of a groovy looking Supergirl. I love red thigh high boots, and I have been looking for a pair for my wife for years. You can't find them for some reason. I don't know why. They're always like odd. They're never like this. They're never exactly just straight thigh highs. They're always got weird stuff to them. And anyways, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And this is the new Supergirl. She's berating that football player. So it says, Johnny D, bum, not hero. This I picked up because of Gray Man. He was showing his Legion of Superheroes runs. This is Keith Giffen, one of my favorite artists when he was on Defenders. 1989, just number 1 issue for 50 cents. So I thought, I'll read this and maybe go down another rabbit hole. And I'm a sucker for purple covers. This I just picked up because of the cover. This is the first time Wonder Woman joins Justice League Europe. It looks like an Adam Hughes, but it's not. It's a Ron Randall cover. But I think he's definitely trying to mimic Adam Hughes, or he's a disciple of Adam Hughes' art. So that's why I picked that one up. It was 50 cents. This next one is 50 cents. DC Universe logo with Wonder Woman, Justice League of America, July 96, 112. Just a sweet cover. You got gorgeous Wonder Woman and you got that DC logo universe. Oh yeah, that looks good. That was 50 cents. Another DC logo universe 50-cent copy of Steel, number 13, March 95. And unfortunately, this cover is not that good. But, oh well. No, it's not. This cover, it's the next one. So Green Lantern 65 DC logo universe. It's a Ron Lim cover. Ron Lim, I liked his X-Men 2099 run, but was it X-Men 2099? I think. But look at his women. Look at the faces. His women's faces are like elongated. His Green Lantern looks pretty cool. This is August 95, number 65. Another 50-cent book. This was 50 cents. Seven Soldiers of Victory, Zatanna. This is a Ryan Sook cover from June 2005. Just very sweet cheesecakey. Yeah, baby. This next is Brian Bolland. I love Brian Bolland. His covers are so awesome. Check this out. Secret Origins #1 special with the Rogue Gallery, Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face. Look at the detail in that cover. And this was 50 cents. I've never seen this before, actually. And it's funny because I have the hardcover book of Brian Bolland's art, so I thought I knew most of the covers. And when I saw this one for $1.50, and I already have it, I had to get it. You guys know what this is? It's a key. It's a under the radar key. From April 1980, Green Lantern, Volume 2, number 127. This is the first Brian Bolland cover or artwork in American comics. Yep. And I was pretty sure about that, but I got home and I did my research just anyway, and I took out my Brian Bolland hardcover book and paged through it, and that was the first artwork that came up in the book. So I forget who it was. I don't know if it was, I think it was Julius Schwartz, went to a Comic-Con in England and knew about Brian Bolland and his work in 2000 AD on Judge Dredd, and approached him and said, would you like to work for DC? And then Brian said, well, what am I going to be doing? He said, well, I'll start you off doing covers on Green Lantern. And then Brian Bolland said, I'm there. So he came over to America and he started doing covers in this run. And then eventually he did the whole series of Camelot 3000. And of course, it's history. Like you saw, I show you that one, and he's done tons of artwork, but he doesn't do interiors much. Hey, how you doing, Negrito? This was $1.50. Silver Age Superman, number 154, July 1962, with Mixoplixic. Low grade copy, but I wanted to read that. That was cool. I already have this, but anytime I find these for around $1, I pick it up. Green Lantern Volume 4, number 23. This is homage to the Green Lantern Volume 3, number 49 cover, where Kyle Rayner becomes Green Lantern. Just a beautiful cover. This is Ivan Rios, and this is from November 2007. And then I found this. I thought, I have seen this before, but I didn't really realize this is a Jim Starlin cover. And I didn't have this and needed it to fill up my run. Joe Staten does the interior work, and Denny O'Neil does the scripts on this book. Number 129, June 1980. That's a Jim Starlin. Star Sapphire. Oh yeah. And you know Jim Starlin, he's famous for Captain Marvel and the Thanos sagas. And then I was glad to find this nice high grade copy, 1977, Gruner and Colin cover, Howard the Duck, annual #1. Nice high grade copy, yellow cover, square bound. That was $1.50. So run fillers, $2 for 158. September 1978. Ultra, the villain there, and you know these were bigger issues. They were like double, so they cost 50 cents, and they were 44 pages. And then I got this one I needed also for the run. This is number 157. This one, Ray Palmer, the Atom, gets married to his longtime girlfriend, Jean Loring. There's a nice 2-page spread in here of all the members that ever were in the JLA. This is from August 1978. So kind of a semi-key. And that's a Joe Staton cover too. And I forget how you say this guy's name. Gasiola. Then for $2, a nice mid to upper grade copy of the Atom number 38. This is actually the last issue before it changes title to the Hawkman and the Atom. And then Hawkman joins the series. Beautiful purple background, nice Gil Kane cover. And that was $2. And then this was this was $5. They had 3 copies. This was the highest grade copy of this. Just a Society of America crossover. You know how they cross over once a year as an event with the Justice League of America. Killer Joker on the cover there. You see the Earth 2 Batman, Earth 2 Robin, Earth 2 Hawkman. I don't know who does this cover. Is it Ernie Chan? I believe. If I had to guess, that's who I would say it is, and it looks like that's his art. I always wanted this, and people always wanted $10 or more. This was 10 and it was half off, so I finally decided to get it. Batgirl #1 from the New 52. This is the first time that Barbara Gordon returns to the Batgirl persona non grata. First appearance at the Mirror in November 2011. Gail Simone writes this. Gail Simone, whatever her politics, whoever she is, she's a good writer. I enjoyed this up until I think issue 35, where they decided to go with a more younger audience, and they changed Batgirl completely. And at the end of this run, near the end, they fired Gail Simone because she had scripted in her storyline to turn Batgirl into a lesbian, and DC fired her. But then the fans were writing in, demanding her return. She did come back to finish off the run up until they changed the direction of the character. And the reason they changed the direction, it was because they were putting out a toy line called DC Girls Heroes or something like that. DC Super Heroines, I don't remember. It was Batgirl and Harley Quinn, I think, and Wonder Woman. And they put out some action figures. And so to meet with the action figures and the toys, they changed the direction of the book. And then 2 books left. This was $5. I passed on a nice high grade copy of this back in Utah about 4 years ago for $9. So this was $5. This is the first appearance of the Vigilante in costume. First appearance of Layla Michaels, who becomes the Harbinger. First appearance of Cheshire, who is Jade Nguyen, Deadly Assassin. I don't think I've read this yet. I have a low-grade copy of this, but this is from 1983. I guess this book is hot right now. Wasn't he supposed to appear in the Suicide Squad movie or something, too? Or something like that? I don't know. So last but not least, we have a Stephane Roux, R-O-U-X, Rue, I think it is, cover of Zatanna, and I think this is a 8-issue series or something like that. I don't remember. This is from 2011, so that was $5. And that is the haul, guys. What do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think I did all right? So for this, I paid $46. I did buy a short box, so that included that also. I did stop by the other LCS and pick up some more Mylars. I sure was going to buy Mylars there, but they sell the Gerber Mylars for $21.99 for 50. And then my other LCS sells them for $7.99 for 100 from another company. So it's just no brainer. I got to go for the cheaper. The only thing is they only have Silver Age. There's a shortage in plastic, and they ran out. I figured they're going to run out of Silver Age. They got like 6 packets left. I better go there. I better grab the 2. So what's on the agenda for the near future with comic books? I got a book from Canada I'm waiting for. The seller said he's waiting to get a bunch of packages so he can ship them or put them over the border and then ship them from there. It's a killer good girl cover from the Golden Age. It's actually, excuse me, it's actually an EC book. So I'm also waiting on a package from Lady Fantastic. I got a message from, I don't remember the Instagram channel, but they sent me a message and they said, "Can I get your address? I want to send you an A-OK." And I was like, wow, that feels good when people do that, you know, you feel humbled. So I'm looking forward to that. Steve said he's got some more books for me. I just sent 2 packages out yesterday. And other than that, there's a comic fest coming up for Halloween. So if you're in the area of Central Florida, you're going to want to go to this. It's at the mall. There's no entry fee, and it's nothing but, well, I'll take that back. It's 90% comic book vendors. There are a few crafts and stuff kind of associated in the vein of comics, but it's mostly 90%. You can find deals here. A lot of good stuff. Not everything is priced to the hilt like you find at cons. So if you're in Central Florida next month, check it out. You can go on the web and type in, I think it's October Comic Fest, Ocala, Florida, Paddock Mall, Paddock. So that's what's coming up. The con was last week. I didn't go. What else? I've been watching Stargirl, the 2nd season. It's really good. I've always loved the Stargirl series since the beginning. And I'm going to give you spoilers. 1, 2, 3. The new villain for season 2 is Eclipso. And I know some of you that are friends with me, you love Eclipso. You think he's cool. He's from the Silver Age of comics, I believe. I think, yeah, he made his first appearance in House of Mystery. I don't know what number. So he's the main villain. But there's also other villains on there. I think one's the Shade. He first appeared in the Golden Age. He's a really cool character. Johnny Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt in Johnny the Thunderbolt. If you've ever read any Golden Age stories and Silver Age of the Justice League, he's in this series, and that's probably the coolest part of this 2nd series right now. So that's all I can think of. I haven't gone out and watched any movies. I did watch the trailer for Hawkeye, and I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see that. Hawkeye is one of my favorite superheroes. I actually liked him more when I saw him in the movies than I did in the comics. And I forgot that he was Ronin in the movie. At the end of that one movie, he turns to Ronin, and then he takes out the criminal organizations around the world. I had forgotten that. So this is part of that storyline. So I'm excited about that. And that's all I can think of for comic news, comic topics in my life right now. I'm always going to be buying comics, And I actually went to sell some keys this week, some modern stuff from my LCSs. They're not buying. They said that they're pretty slow right now. So I'm guessing everybody's running out of COVID money and they're tightening their belts. And, you know, and everything because of the certain person we won't name running the country, everything's going up. So people are holding on to their money so they can pay their bills and they don't have anything extra to spend on comics. Fortunately for me, this week I did, and I did. So I appreciate everybody watching. This is Mike from Nighttiger Comics. See you in the next one. I got a bunch of projects in the works, so stay tuned.